You told me once that when you stopped packing firearms and packing a rifle in your interaction with bears, that their whole perception changed.
That was after we started filming them.
How do you figure that?
I really haven't figured that out. It's awful close to the spiritual.
Yes, it is.
Very close. And I'm willing to let it rest there. I think that's exactly what it is. I'm sure.
Nothing wrong with mystery, is there?
No, there's nothing wrong with mystery.
Along the way, the bears were figuring out the difference between a gun and a camera.
They must have always had it, because a camera is big and it's obvious and it's noisy. And you got to remember, this was 60s, 35 years ago. Cameras were different. Film was different. We had to be very close. We had to have all kinds of light. And the way the camera was, spring wound, no electricity stuff. We had to be careful. We had to be tough. And we had to have nerve. I saw Charlie go do something one day with a big sow and had a nice little cub, little lone cub. And I'd found out the day before that she was blind. Charlie is with me, and he knows this. And like Charlie would do, he was waited for the wind to get up and gust, and she's busy feeding the baby. She's got herself all spread out, and he's going from one dug to another, getting his milk. And Charlie walks up within 25 yards of her and films her. And the wind went down, and he's so completely wrapped up in taking pictures that he doesn't keep track of the noise barrier that's being hang off. And then wind dies, and the picture that he's got, and it's in the film, it's in grizzly country. You can just see her eyes suddenly change the expression, and she picks her head up, and then she gets up on her feet. And the little cub's standing beside her with his paw on her shoulder. And hell, they're not 25 yards from him. And there was a very tense moment, and then she decided that maybe she better go, and she walked out of there. She didn't run. She walked. She'd never really figured out what it was that spooked her. But, you know, this sort of thing, revealing, very revealing, but also scary. I mean, I'll never forget that recognition of something there that shouldn't be from her. And believe me, she was tuned up because she was blind. And she was tuned up otherwise. She had a nose and ears that were taking up the slack. And here she, Charlie walked away from there with it, never ruffled his hair. But he got a whale of a sequence. Wow.
You were approaching bears and living beside bears and making friends with bears and communicating with bears, but you're not. Are you suggesting that the great American and Canadian tourist come into Waterton Park and walk up and take a picture of a bear? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would suggest, or I would ask, with respect, all people to treat them with the greatest respect and not walk up to them. Because all it takes is one mistake. What people don't know is what a bear will put up with and what a bear won't put up with. And they don't stop and argue about it for very long. I'm telling you, they're coming as they're crossed or figure they're threatened. Sometimes it's very easy to do something that constitutes a threat.